Hello everybody, Michael Gamer here. So today I'll be doing another class matchup for the Pyro this time, and he's arguably one of the most hated classes in Team Fortress 2, sadly. And he's also one of my favorites, probably second or third, just because I like fire. Fire is such a deadly and beautiful thing, but it can go either way depending on how you look at it. And Pyro is pretty unique because he has the air blast, and he also like no aim. I understand he has absolutely no way to aim with the flamethrower. Like this class is not meant to be the best at accuracy, but he's very good at area denial as well, especially against spies. So let's see how he compares to every other class here. So how hard would he counter them, and how hard would he actually lose to them? First one is Scout. I'm just gonna put him right here. Just because Scout and Pyro, in my opinion, they're even. But it's kind of hard to say which or where I would put them. Scout, I think, has an advantage. He has an advantage in range. But Pyro, if he gets too close to him, Pyro will kill Scout pretty quickly. Scout does more damage, but Pyro can just burn him from afar with the flare gun, or just use a shotgun combo with his flare gun, and also air blast him to kill him with area denial, so you cannot get anywhere in the map. That's of course if a Pyro is close enough to Scout, but otherwise I feel like these two are kind of evened out if they actually fought each other. Scout is the best in 1v1s, but Pyro in close quarters is arguably more powerful, better suited for that situation. Scout is just better in flanking. And for the next one, Soldier. Soldier, he definitely softly counters just because Soldier has the rocket launcher, and it doesn't matter which rocket launcher, even if it's a direct hit, if the Pyro and Soldier are even in skill, Pyro will be able to reflect almost any blast, and I'm sure that it can also backfire on a Soldier. Anything he reflects does mini crit damage, which would most likely do a lot of damage to a Soldier, and I've done it many times with the Pyro. Air blasting projectiles is very satisfying, especially when you use it to like a huntsman, and you actually reflect the huntsman arrow and do a headshot on another person. That's probably one of the most satisfying kills you can do in a Pyro. And Soldier, he has a shotgun, so he can definitely annoy a Pyro and actually kill him if he confuses him while Pyro tries to air blast. The Soldier can actually switch to the shotguns very quickly and shoot him while he air blasts, which Pyro cannot really do anything about that. But just then again here, Pyro does counter Soldier's rocket launcher, but otherwise, if Soldier has the shotgun, which most soldiers don't even have that, they will have a harder time countering a Pyro. They can use the splash damage to aim for their feet, or just time when the Pyro does his air blast, and just shoot right after the air blast. There is a small cooldown, which is an opening for the Soldier to shoot there. Just put him right here, but he's definitely Pyro is definitely a soft counter for a Soldier. Demoman, sadly, he gets hard countered by a Pyro. Sure, the Pyro can probably die by the sticky bombs if the Demoman detonates it right before it gets affected by the Pyro. Similar to if you guys played Junkrat against Genji from Overwatch. Pretty much the same situation. Junkrat will most likely not be able to hurt Genji if he's gonna reflect or deflect all the bombs or the pellets, and pretty much his bombs, the bombs he can use, if he times it correctly, he can actually hurt Genji despite reflecting. Similar to the Pyro, if Demoman has his Quickie Bomb Launcher, probably the best way to counter a Pyro, or just make sure the same way against Soldier. Just time it correctly. When a Pyro reflects accidentally, that's when you can shoot and definitely damage the Pyro. Pyro has doesn't have much mobility access aside from his secondary, and not really much. Just that and the flare gun. He can just jump pretty high, but he takes a lot of damage from that. So I'm just gonna put him here. He definitely gets hard countered by Pyro, sadly, but that's because he has mostly projectile weapons. Now for the heavy. Heavy counters Pyro. This is not even a debate here. Pyro has to go head on, and he could go around a heavy. Doesn't require much aim with the flamethrower. He can use the back burner to mini crit a heavy by surprise. But at the same time, heavy will outlast Pyros most of the time if they fight 1 versus 1. If not, most likely a heavy will kill a Pyro before the afterburn kills the heavy. But it's best not to fight heavy head on as a Pyro, just because his damage output is the exact opposite of the heavy. They're pretty much polar opposite in terms of damage output. And also the health pool does help heavy a lot. And the minigun outdamages Pyro's flamethrower many times over, so it's not even a competition in that. So for an engineer, hard counters, definitely hard counters Pyro as well, just because Pyro has no good weapons to actually counter a sentry, and it really depends. Engineer without buildings would probably get countered by Pyro pretty easily. But it really depends on if he has buildings or not. He would be either here or he would be right there. Because he's a worse scout. He's a slower scout. But then again, Pyro could try to use his area and to his advantage, and probably use the a corner where the sentry is not gonna aim for him to destroy the buildings with the flamethrower. I've done it many times, but Engineer counters Pyro like no tomorrow if he has a sentry. He's pretty much the same boat against the scout here. Now for the medic. This might be a surprise for you guys, or not maybe. Medic does have... He's the only character that can technically fend off against the back burner. And this is kind of a strange situation, but his overheal, or his heal that he actually has passive, it does counter the Pyro's afterburn, but it's very situational. And I mean, even a soldier has it. He has to sacrifice his secondary weapon. But at the same time, medic gets countered pretty hard by Pyro, because Pyro is one of the only classes that can definitely defeat an Ubered character or Ubered characters. He uses his air blast, he can push them off the cliff, and that helps wonders against Ubered characters. It can delay their Uber, it can push them off the cliff, push the medic off the cliff, or even push him away from whoever is Ubering, and the other guy is pretty much dead, because he's going to be in a wide open area. Most Ubered characters, if you get knocked back by a Pyro, pretty much they're gone. And you can say the medic does have the quick fix, which makes him immune to knockback, but it's not as good, and plus it'll make you very easy to kill if there's a sniper around the area. But definitely Pyro counters medic like no tomorrow. He's one of the best for Uber characters to fight to fend off, but otherwise probably he will be right here. And for Sniper, oh, it's kind of hard to say, but I would actually say here, he slightly loses. Sniper has the best range. He's exactly the opposite of the Pyro in terms of range. The Sniper can kill the Pyro pretty easily from a distance, but both of them are kind of... You know what? I'm actually gonna change it. I think Sniper would be right here, just because if a Pyro is up close to you, you're pretty much toast. You're dead. It really depends on who has the range advantage here. So Pyro doesn't have the range advantage, but he has the flare gun, which causes the Sniper to flinch, making his aiming almost impossible. I've tried it. It's pretty hard to aim while you have afterburn. And sure, you can sacrifice your secondary, but you have to remember, you're pretty much sacrificing your SMG, which is a close quarters combat weapon. So you definitely need that against pyros or weaker characters, unless if you're very good with the sniper rifle. And yeah, it's kind of an even fight as well. Like the scout, it really depends. If you're up close against the pyro, you're pretty much dead. It's too late already. Unless you can quick headshot them, but then again, they'll still have 25 health, so they'll definitely outlive you even after a quick headshot. And for the next one, Spy, not even a question. If anything, he actually gets hard countered by Pyro like no tomorrow. It's not even funny when it comes to him getting countered by Pyro. This is probably the worst class for Spy to be against. If you have a Spy and a Pyro, and a Spy goes invisible, Pyro will always use his flamethrower and just kill off the Spy like nothing. Unless if you're underwater, but then again, the Pyro has the Neon Annihilator, which will kill most classes in one shot, up to the Medic. It does 156 damage in the water. And also it has a shotgun in case if that's the worst case. But the thing is, Spy is the worst class to fight against a Pyro, unless if you have the range advantage. Otherwise, he'll probably use the flare gun against you, and doesn't matter what, the Dead Ringer is gonna save you maybe once, and also the Spicicle. But once again, Pyro, once he gets a hand out of, like, or he finds the Spy is toast. Not even a question here. Pyro counters Spy harder than anyone here. So yeah, that's all it is for the Pyro, the class matchup for Pyro, guys. What do you think about it? Like, do you agree with this list? I actually couldn't find anyone that slightly loses to the Pyro. Or I mean the Pyro slightly loses to anyone here. Just because all of them have, like, it's a kind of a mixed bag, but most of them do get countered by a Pyro, while only 2 of them actually counter Pyro. Also, I guess you can say Pyro has one weakness, which is also his one weakness is that he has well, actually he doesn't have many weaknesses if I think about it, just range and that's it. Range and damage. But the thing is, he's also even out. He actually he hard counters his himself. I would actually put himself right here, but the thing is, there's no one here after. But he definitely hard counters himself, just because his flames do not work against him, because he's immune to himself, or he's resistant to fire, to afterburn. So he'll be right here as well. If he has a shotgun, he pretty much counters himself, which is kind of strange. It's pretty much the same scenario with a few other classes I'll be talking about, which counter themselves better than anyone if they fight anyone else, which will be for probably the next few videos you'll see. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you agree with it, just let me know. If you don't, also let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.